Alright, welcome along everyone who's in the room and anyone who's potentially going to be watching this in the future on video. Nice to have you here. You're welcome to take your mask off if you want, but of course you can keep it on as well. Totally optional. For some of you haven't seen in a while, need to have you back here, start the year. We have been focusing the last couple of weeks on the sensation of feeling from your foot to your hip. Now, it doesn't matter if you weren't here the last few weeks, and that might sound a little bit weird because you're like, yeah, well, I have a foot and a hip, what's that going to do? But when we get moving, the ability to have your foot placed well and connect up into your hip is something that normally happens unconsciously. And what we do in class is practice using our feet well and trying to get that awareness of feeling into the hip. That can help activate some muscles in us and some postural abilities that might have got a little bit lazy. It doesn't mean that then when we shift out into the world and we're walking around that every step you take you have to try and think about what I said in class. Because we just practice it here and then your body will just take over like magic. Sound like a deal? Alright, so let's do some of that yoga stuff and breathe together. So get yourself comfortable in your chair, and if you can, maybe you're sitting upright. Because we're doing a breathing practice, you want to try and be quite open in this area where all your breathing apparatus is. And then if it feels okay, close your eyes. And let's begin. Settling in, trying to quieten down our thoughts just a little bit. And we can do that to start with just by focusing on feeling the breath. Let's feel the breath awareness at your nostrils. Just trying to train our awareness from all the busyness we have in the outside world. Slow things down and come into feeling what's going on right here in the present moment. So feeling the air move in and out of your nostrils. Not having to do much, just be aware that it's happening all day and right now. And then take your awareness, feel the breath in your throat. And as you start giving your awareness to your breath, you might notice that it starts to change a little bit. Maybe it slows down, maybe not. Can you feel your lungs move? And what you might feel more is a bit of sensation of your ribs moving. And then down below your lungs and your ribs is where your diaphragm, your breathing muscle, moves up and down. And often what you feel is a bit like your belly moves a little. It might rise a little as you breathe in and return a little as you breathe out. So focus on that a couple of times. Even put your hand there if you like to feel a bit of movement in your belly as you breathe. Inviting the sense of slowing down and tuning our awareness into feeling something going on in the present moment, right here. Feeling the belly rise and fall as you breathe is a really good relaxation technique. You might want to use it some other times in the day. There's definitely a nice quiet, stiller feeling in the room. I'm not just sure because you're all a bit nervous because the video camera's on, but hopefully it's because you're feeling into your breath as well. So just a little bit more breath awareness. From that feeling that you can start the breath feeling in your belly, let's now breathe in more and feel it in your chest. So it'll sound something like this. Breathe in, the belly rises. Breathe in more, feel your chest expand. And then exhale, everything just returns back to base. Breathe in, belly fills, chest fills, a little bit more, a bigger breath, and exhale, let it go. So come at my pace if that feels okay. We'll do about 3 more together. Breathing in 3 counts, breathe in 2 more, breathe in 1, really full. Exhale. So as we do these few more breaths, see if you can make them a bit bigger. Inhale 3, inhale 2, inhale 1, exhale soft, let everything slip out. Inhale 3, 2, 1, exhale, let it go. Well done. Do a couple more on your own. Last one, see if you can make it perhaps the biggest breath you've taken yet today. Bigger than normal breath. And let it go. And then just let your breath find its natural groove again. If we've done slightly longer ones, you're welcome to open your eyes if you want. And move your feet around a little bit. Nice one. Now those of you who have been here the last couple of weeks, I know the first time we did some of these feet exercises, you found them a little bit was challenging a good bit, even after class. And then after we've done that, I think it's starting to settle down a bit. Is it getting any easier? I'm nodding. I think you're getting the hang of it. Alright, well done. So let's just start sitting up really nice and tall, so you get a little bit of postural exercise, and just pick one foot off the floor, put it down, and then the other foot. And as you go from foot to foot, try and keep your spine nice and long, shoulders relaxed. So you might find as we're even moving the feet, that you've got a bit of sensation of feeling your belly hold on strong and your back work to keep you upright. This is like the slowest walk on the spot. Can we do it with the toes going down first, just to emphasize a different movement in the foot? Can you go toe, ball, heel, toe, ball, heel, toe, ball, heel? A little speed it up might be actually a little bit easier. Good work. It doesn't matter if you're not in the same rhythm as me, or if you feel you have 3 feet, that's fine. How about going heel first? How does that go? Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. I think we need to leave the other foot on the floor. Alright, now just keep using the right one, heel, toe, heel, toe. So here you can sense we're definitely getting the ankle warmed up a little bit. And while some of you might be pulling faces or just thinking some of this stuff is a bit weird, just get your awareness into the weird, and it might help you forget of some of this other stuff going on out in the world. Heel toes. Alright, fabulous. Alright, let's try the left foot heel toe. So as you're getting this unusual movement going, you might feel a bit of life in your hip. A little bit of movement all the way down onto the ankle, and the toes. We're just warming things up at the moment. Can you get the toes playing this game a bit as well? Do they curl around and pick up? How about if you go heel toe and then imagine you pick something up with your toes? And feel free, as we keep doing more toe stuff, to look down every now and then, because sometimes that helps us make the connection. Alright, and let it go. Back to your right foot. Now we're going to try the short foot exercise. So if you imagine, because it's easy to see with my hand, you shorten it, the middle of the hand or the middle of the foot is going to shorten a little. And I'm not even going to go side on the camera to show you because you can't see much with the feet. So try and keep that right foot a few millimeters shorter without too much scrunching up of your toes. You're allowed to screw your face up as much as you want, if that's helping. And then release. And because these little muscles are specifically for that part of the foot, and maybe you don't use them so much normally, when we do it, you might find you get a bit tight and crampy. That's okay, just let it go if it hurts, okay? Let's do that foot again. Right foot, shorten the foot. Have a look, see if you're really scrunching up the toes, or if you've twisted the foot or gone off to the side to try and get that to happen. Good frowning. And let it go. And then try again, shorten the foot. Let's have a nice breath in through your nose. Keep the foot short, let it go. We're going to try and hold this one a little bit longer. And let it go. And we'll do one more today. We're running up to 4 on each foot. So shorten the foot again, feeling the middle part or the arch of your foot shorten. So the length of your foot goes a little bit shorter. And let it go. Good work. And then if you feel it would be useful, wiggle your foot out a bit. And we'll start on the other foot. So left foot shortens. Shortens, shortens, shortens. Oh, this foot feels a little bit tighter than my other one today. And let it go after that first one. Good work. Okay. And shorten it again. Have a look, see, do the toes do anything different than they did on the other side? Can they more just try and shorten in rather than scrunch up? So just reducing the length of your foot to get the muscles in the middle going. Yeah. And let it go. Well done. Oh, I noticed I was tightening up my shoulders. Let's see how we will go on this next one. Shorten the foot. Sitting tall, relaxed shoulders. Lovely conscious breath in. Keep the short foot without the giggles. And let it go. And the foot go. One more time. Fourth one. Here we go. Shorten the foot. If you can, keep the heel and the ball of the foot on the floor, just as a guide that you're not kind of changing the shape of the foot too much, just the shortening. And let it go. Anyone feel like they might have almost been getting cramp? Yep. Okay. Thank you, feet. Giving you a bit of exercise so you get nice and strong for holding us up in the word. Well, the next exercise is called the big toe. Have a look at your right big toe. And now push it harder into the ground and lift your other toes off the ground. Now try and spread your other toes as well. So you're splaying your toes. I think last week we tried doing this with our hands as well, didn't we? Sometimes that helps make the connection. So with your right big finger, what's it called? Your thumb. Push it down and lift and spread your fingers. And let it go. Good work. Go again. Big toe. Push down, spread your fingers. Take a lovely, luscious breath in. Go. And again, big toe. Breathe. Breathe out. And let it go. And do it again. Big toe push. A little harder. This will be the last one on this side, so really push it in. Try, because it might not happen, just try and lift the other toes. Have a look, see which ones are doing what you think you want them to do. And then conscious breath in and let it go. And we'll do the other side and then we're done with these, okay? So big toe on the other side. Ooh, those other toes lift up better for me on that side. How are you guys going? Try and spread them a bit. Maybe you join in with the hand. It's going to give your hand an exercise as well as helping make the connection. And let it go. Number 2, big toe, thumb push, a little harder, sitting tall, lift the other toes and fingers. Good, right. And then I'm just saying conscious breath, just as kind of a marker of time. Often these exercises are given for about 10 seconds each. So we start, push the big toe down, lift the toes, spread the toes, conscious breath in. Conscious breath out, nice and slow. And let it go. One more time. Big toe, thumb push, toes and fingers splay. Sitting tall. Breathe when you're ready. Let it go. And relax. Okay, well done. Give your feet a wiggle. Thank you, toes. We'll see how we go. We're doing a little bit of that standing up as well, which we'll try in different positions. Excellent. All right, now we come to what I see the theme of the class is about, is feeling your foot into your hip. So if you push your right foot into the floor a bit more, maybe close your eyes if that helps you feel the push from your hip and feel life up into your hip, inside your hip, where your thigh bone enters, and then let it go. Try the other side. And just keep that little active push on, just like you were taking a step when you're walking down the street. Feel what happens in your hip. And feel that constant line of action. And let it go. Try the other side. You might find some muscles around your hips, your bottom active a little. And don't worry if you're not feeling it. It's a little weird. It's a bit subtle. If I said pick up a big sack of potatoes, you'd probably feel it easier than you're able to feel that connection feet to hip. But it'll come with time as we keep practicing. Okay, let that go. So now we're going to use the foot to hip connection to activate our sit to stand exercise. Some of you, your favourite exercise. Two of you, and then we'll sit down again, okay? So make sure you've got a steady place on your feet. Hands on the chair if you want, lifting the head. So push down into your feet, lift tall through the head. And slowly park your bottom back in the chair. Good work. And then do that again. Feeling foot up into the hip. Lovely. And back you go. And have your hands in front if you want. Let's try a few more. Push yourself back. Good. Really good, slow, steady, nice technique. Good and tall on the top. Lovely. Anyone consciously practice a few of these while they were on holiday?
Yes, we did. We talked about it.
Excellent.
Getting out of our clothes, that was.
Talked about it, and then when you talked about it, you did something.
I think Kasha will be very proud of us. Didn't I say?
Anyone else got any stories to tell to distract us while we do a few more? Okay, one more time and we'll have a little sit. Push from the feet, feel into the hip and slowly go back down. Great, so really good active legs is another way of saying that. Excellent. Let's come slightly forward now. We'll forget about the legs for a bit and we'll get our spine moving. So let's have the hands on the legs. You all know this one now, the cat pose. So round your spine towards the back of the chair, tuck your tail underneath you, head down. And slowly you're rocking forward. Lift your chest up, shoulders back. And maybe you lift your face a little, and then off you go again. So just play with that, feeling the rounding of your back in one direction. And coming up for air, open the chest. I'm just going side on so you can see the shape if that's useful. Everyone's back obviously has a slightly different shape. Getting the idea that it's not just your head moving forward and backwards, and it's not just your shoulders, but you're trying to move your hips as well. So you round. And just do a couple more in your own time. That's looking really nice. Really feeling your cat tail swing between your legs and round back. Good. Nice one. Okay, so that's the spine going forward and backwards. Let's try it going side to side of it. Just kind of shorten one side of your waist a little and come back. Shorten the other side. Do a couple more and try and consider how your spine from your tail to your head is having a little bit of a bend over. And back, and then bend over. And when you come up in the middle each time, sitting really tall, so there's lots of nice space for your spine as well. Beautiful. And some people like to do these sideways ones with a bit of an arm stretch as well, so you can go over and maybe reach an arm out. Now, I don't think I have said it yet, but just make sure that everything feels safe and good for you today. If any exercise or any part of an exercise isn't working for you, just leave it out, no problem. Okay, let's do one more side bend on each side and we'll see if we can hold it just for one breath, eh? Over we go. Let's take a good conscious breath here. And it go, and of course you might breathe slower or faster than me, that's fine when you're ready other side. Lots of yummy space down the side of the body, beautiful, come back in. Cool, and then another movement our spine likes to do is to go round and round. So you can put your hands here if it's useful, but what you want to feel is that your belly and your hips stay pretty still, and it's your ribs that spin around. Maybe you can see that my ribs move one way and my shoulders, and my center stays pretty still. To get you that sense that your rib cage is what rotates and turns around when we're doing this exercise. So it's a bit awkward with your hands there, so if it doesn't feel so good, feel free to let them go. And just be really mindful when you're doing a twist that you keep your spine quite long and tall. You're welcome to try turning your head a little bit on the side. And we were joking before about arms swinging around in front of the camera, but it can actually feel quite nice to do a big arm sweep as you go around one way. And then you start turning back to the middle, sweep the other arm around. I think we called these windmills the first time we did them. And then you can get an eye movement as well, so watch that hand or thumb as you come up, around and back. And this is a really good movement to help getting used to moving your head and eyes while we're doing it sitting, because it's nice and safe. Many of us find it quite challenging moving our head and eyes in different ways to our body when we're walking around, because it totally affects your balance. It's good to get in a little practice here while we're on solid ground. Okay, our little windmill dance is coming to an end. So we'll do one more on the right side. One more on the left side. Give your shoulders a little roll. Right, we'll come up to standing and do some standing exercise now. Those of you who like to do exercise with your shoes on, now we've done that foot stuff, you're welcome to put them on if you prefer, just see how you go. Alright, let's see if we can do another 5 sit to stand to get good strong legs. So make sure you're not too far forward on the chair now. Push into your feet, feel up into your hips through your legs. Park your bottom back and down you go. Hands in front if that works for you. 4. Nice one. 3. Amazing concentration and silence in the room. I believe that was 5. Let's come around the back. So I'll just go side on slightly in case anyone's looking on the camera in the future, it might be useful. Hands on the back of the chair, soften your knees, and my feet are about hip width apart. Okay, you just did this sitting down. Let's see how we go with the cat here. So your cat tail comes underneath you, you round your back, head down, and then you do the opposite. So hands solid on the chair, bottom back, lift your chest, shoulders back. And then the tail swings underneath you, round the back, head down. Let's try it with the breath rhythm where you inhale here, so you fill your lungs. And then you exhale, squish the air out, squish the ribs down. Couple more, so you keep going, let me have a look-see. I like to do it with my hands solid on the chair here, so I can really kind of push and arch through. The support for the shoulders. Try and feel your spine rippling. Feel yourself as flexible as a cat. How wonderful would that be? Lovely. Alright, well done. So stand on up straight now. And let's try just a little bit closer to the chair if you were quite far away. The chair pose. So sink your bottom back, just a little bit. So we got a little baby imaginary chair behind you. It's very similar to what you did when you did the sit to stand up and down. So we've just come down part way. Good work. Just have everyone look at your own knees. If you feel they're pushing forward a long way, could you instead pull them back a little bit more towards your ankles? How does that go? So rather than aiming towards your toes, go more over your ankles. And maybe you can sink a little bit more, keeping the back upright like the back of a chair. Just quite strong work in your back. Let's stand up. Good work. Yep, it's quite hard work, isn't it? Cool. So we'll come down and up in the chair pose a couple more times. So you're trying to keep your back reasonably straight. You need to lean forward a little bit. Let's see how we go. So bottom back, and then come back up. And we'll just go down and up a couple of times. So park your bottom and back of the chair. Now, if you don't feel you need the chair for your hands, you could have your arms in front, carrying a parcel in front. Good, and come back up. Let me see this side of the room. Your turn. Down you go. Yeah. If you imagine, so you are carrying something heavy, really feel like your shoulders plug in and that you're good and strong around your middle so you can carry this weight. Let's go down one more time. So if you're carrying something heavy, gently lower it down towards the chair. And as you bring it back up, stand up and straighten your legs. Good work, and you can get rid of that. Good work, okay. So standing now with your feet hip width apart. This pose in yoga we call the mountain. So let's just try and feel into that idea of being strong and steady like a mountain. Have a look at your feet if you want to begin. Maybe a little spread of your toes. We're not going to do anything too weird with your toes just yet. I just want you to feel that your weight is even right to left foot. And if it feels steady for you, you could even close your eyes so you can focus on feeling your feet a bit more. And with that conscious little push into your feet, feel the life up through your legs, through your knees and your thighs and into your hips. Maybe you feel a little bit of action in your bottom, around your hips, and a long lift up through your spine to the top of your head. And then take a couple of conscious breaths in this good, tall, steady mountain pose. Great, very serious mountains. Alright, now we're going to try the foot exercise standing, not quite as long as we did before. So with your right foot, try and shorten it. Hold the chair if you feel you need for balance. So try and keep that shortening for a little bit longer this time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take a good conscious breath again. Another one. Can you keep it short? And let it go. Good work. And then go to the other foot. Try the shortening. You might notice one foot feels this quite differently than the other. That's okay. Just you got the shortening and then nice, good, open posture. Good, steady breath. Brilliant. And let that go. Okay, and wriggle your toes out. Are you ready for the next one? Was the big toe exercise. So push down your right big toe. Can you try it with your left thumb this time? So push it down into your leg. Lift your right 4 other toes. Lift your left 4 fingers. I feel I'm going to get tongue-tied just trying to tell you to do that. So keep pushing strong with the big toe and the thumb. Splay a little bit more the other ones. Just to finish it off, take a good conscious breath. And let it go. Great. Okay, and then the other side. Big toe, push. Thumb. Feel free to hold the chair if you need with the other hand. Lift the other toes, lift the other fingers, spread them. Anyone got a bit of flaring of their nostrils going on at the same time? Can you try and feel the weight pretty even through the body and up through the spine? You're doing this unusual thing with that final big toe push a bit harder. Is there any more juice in there to push? And let it go, well done. Soften the toes and give them a wiggle round. Fantastic. Okay. So, mountain pose is a good start for then doing a little bit of balance work. So bring the feet a bit closer, in fact as close as you can, feet together position. And if it feels okay, less or none holding on the chair. No fingers. Good. Really nice and tall. And then just get that sense of feeling feet into your hips. Active, beautiful. Okay. Tandem, or the semi-tandem, right foot snuffles forward a little bit, so you're kind of on a split foot. Now you've all done this quite a few times before, so just remember the chair is there. And if you are using it, just a little bit of a touch with however many fingers you need, rather than pushing into it. So the legs are doing the holding. Good work. Can you gaze at something at the wall instead of the floor? Great. Alright, see if on that same foot you can do the tandem. I know some of you find that a bit challenging, so just stay with the semi-tandem if that's more useful for you. Because you don't want to go so far over your balance capability that you're going to end up really wobbly. We just want that sense of a little bit of a challenge. So you're feeling the weight in both feet. Those of you who haven't been here for a while, just sensing how that is for you today. As we start to rebuild our balance skills again. Nice work, nice and tall. And then let it go. Okay. Other side, semi-tandem. Great. And if you notice you're really holding a lot of tension maybe in your jaw or your shoulders or anywhere else that isn't quite as directly useful, just try and let it soften when you get on with the business of feet steady, finding your balance. Great. Okay. This is looking too easy for most of you. Good work. Other foot forward. Toe to heel or tandem stand. Find that your weight is in both feet. Maybe you start with the hand on the chair, and if it's okay, you let go of it. Then try and lift your gaze a little. Just thought I'd
sort of narrow
on the tightrope. Good work, and let it go. Nice one. Okay. So let's move a little bit more now, because those ones are quite still, aren't they? So let's just rock the weight from one foot to the other. Now you see I've got my feet a little bit further apart. My toes are turned out a little bit so I can bend the knee easy and just shuffle the weight side to side. Feel the weight shifting. Nice little bit of movement in the hips. Great. And let's try what we did sitting down, the spine movement. So stay with your weight in the middle. How does it feel to bend and a bit of a stretch? Holding the chair as you need. Good work, and come back in. And the other side, so bend, just so start it steady. Chair if you need, bending over. Let's do that one more time on each side. And you can add a little bit of a balance challenge if you want by watching the hand as it moves. So left hand is coming up and over as you bend towards the right. And you know the chair is there with your other hand if you need it. And slowly come back down. Good work. And the other side. So remember, if this is too wobbly for you, hold the chair or keep your eyes still and lower to the ground. Brilliant. Alright, and now we'll try the little spins. So when we're standing, you're able to move your hips safely a little bit. So try that. So we're turning the ribs, but we're also turning the hips all the way down to where you pivot and lift the heel. Yeah, that's it. It'll just stop the knees and the hips getting jammed if we're able to lift the heel. That's great. Alright. So if you want to, as you turn, look over that shoulder behind you. And I'll just keep adding things. You might be happy just staying with that. Some of you might want to add the windmill arm. And if you're still able to feel your spine long and steady in the middle, as you keep going side to side, perhaps you watch your thumb. And stretch. Let me see a couple more. Yep. That's it. Great. Okay, so a nice little bit of pivoting, and sometimes that gentle either spiraling movement or a bit of a move around can help you feel a little bit more alive through the body. I'm going to do my chair the same as you. So come onto this right side of your chair. We'll do a little bit of strength and balance work with the legs, often known as a lunge, or in yoga we call the lunges a bit more like warrior poses. So if you think of the word warrior as a strong word, so we're going to try and have this left foot slightly further forward to behind that back of the chair. You can still hold the chair to begin with, yeah. And this right foot, lift the heel off the ground. So most of the weight now is in this front leg. Yeah. Take that foot back, the right one. And we're not going to try and go on the tightrope, try and have it about hip and have a look if you want. So I'm going kind of 2 foot lengths back. If you want to make this harder, just take your foot further back, okay? So let's first of all discover who's got the squeaky floorboard. Here we go. Nice one. And now feel your floorboards under your foot, the front one. Let's focus just on the front leg. Really push into that foot until you can feel the connection into your hip. And let's bend and straighten that leg a bit. The back leg slightly bent. So remember when we did the chair pose, we bent with the bottom going back, and your back leg at the moment is just doing a bit of steering. So I'm trying to focus today on us to use the front leg more, just for this purpose of feeling the foot to hip connection. Great. Now some of you are a little bit stronger. You might like to just have the big toe just touching on the back, just to try out using the front leg more. Just looking around to see if anyone's having a go with that. And you could also try it with that foot off the ground, like a one-legged chair. Nice. Just put the big toe down as you need. Okay, let's just do one more like that. Great. Okay, now pause there. How's that going? Feeling hips? Feeling, yep. In a painful, uncomfortable way, or the muscles are working? Yep. Okay. All good. Try and come back. We'll do that on the other side, and then I'll give you another exercise. So this right warrior leg is nice and strong now, slightly bent in a good, steady, ready to go warrior position. That back foot, we've gone back a couple of steps, it's in line with the hip, and the ball of the foot at the moment is steady on the ground. So let's think of this leg as a bit like the rudder, and this front leg is doing all the strong work for today. Okay, so do a little bend, come back up. So try and keep your chest quite upright, your back strong. Some of you might not need the chair quite so much, so try and make it more that it's the strong muscles in your leg from your foot all the way to your hip. Great. Okay, do a couple more like that. Have a look at the knee. If it's either wobbling or coming too far forward, feel free to share more weight with your back leg, or perhaps make it a little bit smaller. So you press from the foot and feel the push. And again, okay, keep going if you can. Have less weight in the back foot if that's going well for you and you want to challenge. So I've lifted off the ball of my foot. I've lifted off the little toe. Go back. And those of you who want to challenge the front leg more, have hardly any weight on the back leg. Maybe for a moment you can pick it off the ground. Then you decide, no, that's too hard at that moment, it didn't last very long. Right, push, and come up. Push, and come up. Good work. Okay. A little bit of a dance with your hips as you walk to the other side. Those of you who walked about dancing in front of the camera, watch as you come around. Awesome. Alright, so right leg first, this is your left leg forward. And when you watch this on the video, you might find that the left and rights get switched around, which will be terribly confusing, so just follow along, okay? Right, now we're going to stay in the one spot and just see how we go going down. So a similar action to when we did the chair and our feet were hip width apart at the front, and we came back with the bottom to go into the back of the chair. Good ruck. Okay. Now what happens if you keep your knee and your hip in the same place and hinge the body forward a little bit? So make sure when you do that you don't have all the weight thundering through your knee. Let's now push a bit more with the back leg and come up to standing. Good work. And come down. Okay, go back. We'll do that 2 more times. I think I'll leave out the leg now. So you got your foot ready, you're going to come down into that little lunge. You push with the front leg and push as much as you need with the back leg as well now to come up. Some of you might manage a hover. Good work. And I'm probably too far forward because I can't hold the chair very well. Go back. Go down. Hold for 3. Hold for 2. And when you do the lift off, slow and steady and try and hover. Come up and hover. If you can, no chair. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, other side. Warrior leg at the front. Warrior leg at the back. And the first one we did nice and slow. So we came down. You're surrounded by squeaky floorboards. Good one. Okay, so try and keep the weight coming back and down here. Some of you might manage to go a bit lower, and if you want to make it harder, you can take the back foot back a bit more. A few takers. Good work. So keep feeling the push of your front foot up into the hip. Have a check the knee's not gone wonky. Same thing a bit with your hip. If you're ever going too far and you feel like your hip kind of presses out, keep things in line. Okay. And that first one we did, we tried leaning forward to experience a bit more back work. See how that goes? And then we push and come up. Good work. Okay, so get ready now to do those 3 ones where we go back into a lunge. So good strong warrior leg. And then when you're ready, push through the front foot and come up. Hover. As much chair as you need and do it again. Number 2. Steady. Good work. So you might have the weight even on both feet. You might just be using the front one. Just see what you can do. Come up. Maybe hover. And the last one leg goes back. Sink down. Good push with the front foot. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1, push, and then come up and hover. If you can, no chair, or just one finger. Hold 3, hold 2, woo. Hold 1, foot down. Woo! Good work, okay. Nice work. So quite a lot of strong work around our hips and in our bottom today. When you get that work of pushing your foot, feeling it work into your hip. You have option to do a little dance. How are we doing for time? Pretty sure. I thought that was you. It's moving round the room. The squeak is moving. Take your feet wide again with the option of going a little bit wider. What do you think if the video stops? Shall I make us do it all again? We can try again next week. Alright. So just a nice little gentle rhythm, side to side rocking. Great. Alright. Let's try one more balance exercise. And this time, we'll keep the feet still and we'll move our hands and the head. Remember when I said when we were sitting on the chair doing that movement, that's a real challenge for many people when you're balancing. So let's just go with the feet together. Keep your legs still, and all we're going to do is start with moving one hand. So you can have the other hand on the chair if you need. So move one hand in front of your face and head and around. We won't do much twisting with this, okay? The other arm. Now some of you, it looks like you've got the idea already. If you want to, try and follow that hand with your eyes, knowing the chair is there if you need it. And the other one. Beautiful. Okay, and pause. So we're going to keep doing like that. If you want a little bit more challenge, try the tandem or the semi-tandem. So choose to change your feet if you want, and we'll do a few more. So move the hand, if you can, move your eyes. Good, now I've just said eyes, but you're welcome with this one if you want to move the head. So moving both the eyes and the head is a challenge for your balance system. So remember, we're trying to challenge your balance system. So it's okay if you feel that little bit challenged and maybe a little bit wobbly, so long as you feel safe enough to re-find your balance. If you're doing a semi or a tandem change feet, and then off you go again. It's the last few of these and then we'll sit down. As you do the last few, if you need to make anything more challenging, if you haven't felt much yet, maybe change your foot position. Do something really crazy with your hands. Woo. Feel free to change the movement if your body's got used to that one. Maybe you move the head a bit more. Okay, so to finish off, let's just try lifting the head and the eyes a little bit more. So I want you to stay really close and still. Start, everyone, sorry, feet together. So you're going to lift and look towards the ceiling. You might have your hands on for the first one and see how that goes and come back down. If that was super easy, try it with your hands off. So going from floor to ceiling, slow and steady. And you either keep doing that, or if you want to make it a little harder, do one or two on each foot, tandem or semi. To keep looking at me, just seeing what's going on for you, looking to the floor and then the ceiling. Change foot if you haven't already. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit more wobble going on in the room, but just the right amount that it's a bit of a challenge. Good work. And back to base. Beautiful, they're looking really good. Let's come back to the front of the chair. Maybe some of you have been gazing at clouds while you've been on holiday. Alright, so a slow, steady sit back. Sit back. Let's do the eye tracking exercise we've done, where you end up with your hands in a V. Okay? So for this one, you want your head to stay still and your eyes do the moving. So thumbs in front, snuggle your shoulders down, and then stare at just your left thumb. Got it? Find one spot you're going to stare at as your focal point. And now stare at just your right thumb. And keep staring at the right thumb as you move it out the side without moving your head. How far can that thumb go? And you can still get focus. And now shift your eyes back to the middle thumb, left one. When it's in focus, then go right. So the thumbs now stay still, and the eyes move from one thumb to the other. So if you've made it so far out that you can't focus at all, shift your hand. If you've made it so easy, then you maybe need to go further. So do a couple more. I need to go further. And then bring that thumb back in as you gaze at it. Let's finish that side by bringing your thumbs now into the middle. Can you get towards your nose while staying focused on the thumbs as best you can? Pause for a moment, lower your hands, close your eyes. Notice how your breath feels if you haven't noticed it for a while, maybe a slower, stiller breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, try the other side. So eyes open, thumbs in front. Find the right one, the left one, and out you go. Dun, dun, dun. I need to move my hair out of the way. Try and focus on your thumbs rather than your nose. So just keep switching from one thumb to the other, keeping your head still. amazing sense of concentration in the room. We should bottle that. Can you do a couple more eye movements? And how would it feel if you tried to take a lovely, luscious breath at the same time? And then slowly bringing your thumb back. It's quite normal that as we concentrate really hard, the breath can come a little shorter. Now let's bring the thumbs back in toward your nose. To the tip. And you can stay there with your thumbs down gazing at your nose tip for a couple of rounds of breath if you can. If it makes you feel a bit too odd, feel free to close your eyes. Maybe you can even sense the breath that moves across the nose as you breathe in and out. And then closing your eyes. Just let your eyes rest after that eye exercise. Beautiful. I think now we can just slide right on into many people's favourite part of class, the relaxation. So feel free to lean back in your chair now. If you are going to do this at home, feel free to lie down on the floor or get comfy. It's quite nice to be able to do relaxation while you're in maybe on your bed. Alright, legs comfy. Where would you like your hands to rest? Do they sit one on top of the other in your lap, or are they separate? Just feel free to change to see what's going to work for you today. Wonderful. And just consciously letting your body be aware here. We've got some minutes to let go of all of that doing and pushing and the unusual exercises. And now is time to rest. The body has permission to soften in the chair. Just feeling yourself progressively letting go more, and we're going to do a counting back from 10 exercise. Just to consider really that with each count backwards, let yourself get more and more relaxed. So let's go number 10. Give your whole body permission to relax. Number 9. Feel your eyes are resting. Number 8. Release tension from your jaw. Number 7. Feel your whole face soften. Number 6. Your shoulders settle, shoulders relax. Number 5, continue to allow your whole body to relax more and more. Number 4, feel the softness of your belly. Number 3, notice your bottom and your back are supported. Feel the support and lean into it. Number 2, feel your limbs, your arms and your legs soften. Number 1, drop deeper and deeper into awareness in your body. Just got a little bit of quiet time here, so soak it up and allow yourself to relax. Can you imagine your body even more at ease? Invite the sensation of ease through your body. If you find your mind's getting really busy, it's okay, it's pretty human. You might like to tune into the rise and fall of your belly again, feeling your breath. And counting backwards from 10 again, watching your breath. It's another way to just keep the mind pretty quiet and focused. So if you find it useful, try counting the breath backwards from 10. Every inhale and exhale is one count. Still with the counting or not, just let that go. These final few moments to bathe in the little clear, quiet moments. To keep your eyes closed for this last little bit, but you might like to move your body a little bit just to come to. If you were watching this at home, you might stay for a little longer, relax, but if you're here in the room and you're getting ready to go on with your day, perhaps roll your shoulders a bit or wiggle your fingers around. And while you're doing that, good conscious breath. So take some fuller breaths again, like you're refueling yourself, getting ready to go. Come on back up to a nice tall seated position. And let's take a big breath in together. Arms can reach overhead. And then feel, so staying with feeling, feel your fingertips and your hands touch gently. And then feel them come down in front of your heart space, just hands in front of your chest. So this gesture of gratitude we make with our hands here, you might like to give yourself a little nod of gratitude, maybe for taking this class today. And then sending that same thought or idea of gratitude out into the world. So Maybe there's something in particular you're really grateful for at the moment. So send that thought outwards. Wonderful. Thank you all for being here today. Om Shanti, much peace to you all. Have a lovely day. Nice to have you back. Take care out there. Someone used the analogy the other day of some of what we do with yoga, like the slowing down and the quiet, peaceful moments, is like Hansel and Gretel. It's like leaving little crumbs for yourself. When life gets a bit crazy, the little crumbs for yourself to remember how to come back to being grounded and peaceful and quiet. So hopefully we just left you a few little crumbs. So next time you're out there and things are getting a bit busy, you can come back to a peaceful, centered self.